some thought, and I wanted to share something with y'all. So I've been in the book of Joshua. Well, I was in the book of Joshua with some friends because we were focusing on chapter 6. But then my one friend said, it's really a lot of war strategy. And, I want to read the whole book. And I thought about that, and I'm like, I had never read the entire book of Joshua, so why not? And I came to a realization about the promised land. Correct me if I'm wrong. But a lot of times when I've heard people speaking about the promised land, or even when I read about the promised land, it's just like, oh, once you get there, everything's great. The land is yours. It's going to be peace. It's going to be all this, like all of this good stuff. Because, you know, that Moses led Israel out of Egypt. And, they wandered in the desert and everything. And eventually they entered the promised land. Short version. But there's one key missing. I was like, when they went into the land, that's where the battles began. Like, they had to fight these people, those people. And it was so much strategy that came from Yah. And they had to be obedient to those specific things that they were told to do. Because when they weren't, or they did something wrong, they lost. And I'm like, is it me, or is nobody talking about that? Because I felt like I've been duped. I, I mean, obviously, I know I haven't, it was the first time reading the book of Joshua, so I probably could have realized that before, but it's just like, wow, we have the promise, and it's time for you to walk in that. But as soon as you get into that land, that's where your battles begin. And to be honest with you, it's the internal battle. You know, the old version of you and the new version. Well, it's not, it's the old version of you that's dying. But then there's the new version of you that's being cultivated. So it's literally like it's a freaking tussle, and obviously that battle is internal, but it's outward as well, because there are things that you're gonna have to walk out that you've never walked out before. There's gonna be um areas in your life that you have to trust Yah, where you haven't submitted to him in that area before. um and so it's just like, that is just, I don't know, it's just mind-blowing. It's just so mind-blowing. If you have not read the book of Joshua, I recommend that you do, because there really is a lot of strategy and a lot of prayer points. I'm in my car in my driveway, so I don't have my book, but I do want to share those strategies with you guys, because those prayer strategies. So I think it's important, because a lot of times we be doing the same thing. What is that? What do they say the definition of insanity is? When you're doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. And sometimes we do that with prayer. We're saying the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. And I'm like, I'm practicing insanity in prayer. Not saying that Yah is not gonna fulfill that, that he's not listening or anything. That has nothing to do with that. But as we grow, the way we pray is gonna grow. The way we see things is gonna grow. So why not? Why not go about it differently? Especially if you get strategy from the book, right? Um, so yeah, that's your friendly reminder that once you walk into your promised land, that's where the battles are going to begin. So I hope y'all have a good night, and that's all I got. All right, bye. As soon as I figure out how to get out of this thing,